Good morning. I am going to read to you guys out of 1 Samuel. Today is May 21st, and we are in chapter 29 through chapter 31, verse 13. But we're going to pick up in chapter 30, verse 1. And this is talking about David. And it says, David and his men arrived back home, and they found that the Amalekites had made a raid. They crushed and burned everything to the ground. They carried off women and children and everyone else, but without killing anyone. When David and his men saw the ruins and realized what had happened to their families, they wept until they could weep no more. David's 2 wives were among those captured. David was now in great danger because all of his men were very bitter about losing their sons and daughters, and they began to talk of stoning him. But David found strength in the Lord his God. Then he said to the priest, "Bring me the ephod." And David asked the Lord, "Should I chase after this band of raiders? Will I catch him?" And the Lord told him, "Yes, go after them. You will surely recover everything that was taken from you." So David and his 600 men set out, and they came to the brook Besor. But 200 of the men were too exhausted, so David continued the pursuit with 400 men. Along the way, they found a man who ended up leading them to the raiders. And he led them to them. They found the Amalekites spread out across the field, eating and drinking and dancing with joy because of the vast amount of plunder they had taken. David and his men rushed in among them, killed them all throughout the night and the entire day until evening. None of the Amalekites escaped except 400 young men who fled on camels. David got back everything that was taken from him, and he rescued his 2 wives. Nothing was missing, small or great, son or daughter, nor anything else that had been taken. He also recovered all the flocks and herds, and his men drove them ahead of the other livestock. "This plunder belongs to David," they said. Then they met back at the brook with the men that were left there. And then I love this. The story goes on, and there's more to read there. And but when we get into the Psalms, we hear David testifying. And so in the Old Testament, we see David in the middle of the battle and what he ends up doing in the middle of the battle. And then we see David in this Psalms testifying. So let's listen to this. So this is Psalms 118, 1 through 18. And it says, "Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His faithful love endures forever. Let all of Israel repeat, his faithful love endures forever. Let Aaron's descendants, the priests, repeat, his faithful love endures forever. Let all who fear the Lord repeat, his faithful love endures forever. In my distress, I prayed to the Lord, and he answered me and set me free. The Lord is for me, so I will not fear. What can mere people do to me? Yes, the Lord is for me. He will help me. I will look in triumph at those who hate me. It is better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in people. It is better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in princes. Though hostile nations surrounded me, I destroyed them all with the authority of the Lord. Yes, they surrounded and attacked me, but I destroyed them all with the authority of the Lord. They swarmed around me like bees. They blazed against me like a crackling fire, but I destroyed them all with the authority of the Lord. My enemies did their best to kill me, but the Lord rescued me. The Lord is my strength and my song. He has given me victory. Songs of joy and victory are sung in the camp of the godly. The strong right arm of the Lord has done glorious things. The strong right arm of the Lord is raised in triumph. The strong right arm of the Lord has done glorious things. I will not die. Instead, I will live to tell of what the Lord has done. And so one of the things that I was thinking this morning is just how beautiful it is in the 1 year, how you can kind of see how the Old Testament and the New Testament and the Psalms and even the Proverbs will kind of intertwine with each other. And I got to thinking about that with David, how in one of the portions of scripture today, we see David in the middle of the battle. And we see how David responded. And some of you guys, you may have already been through a battle. You probably have. or you're in the middle of a battle. And one of the ways that David responded in the midst of the battle was he strengthened himself in the Lord. He called on the Lord to help him. He called on the Lord to guide him. He called on the Lord to give him wisdom. What do I do in this situation, Lord? And then I love that after the many, many battles that David faced, he didn't just keep it to himself the way the Lord was faithful and the way the Lord rescued him. He testified of the goodness and the faithfulness of God. And there's a lot of you this morning that you have a testimony. You've been through a battle and you've seen the Lord bring you through. And I want to encourage you this morning to testify that your testimony is powerful and your testimony will bring others into the presence of God and lead others in, that your testimony is a spirit of prophecy to allow other people to grab hold of that and say, you know what, if he did it for them, then he will do it for me too. So if you're in the middle of the battle, call on the Lord to be your strength. And if you're outside of a battle, you have a testimony, begin to open your mouth and testify of the goodness of God. I'm going to go talk to my daughter who just woke up, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.